I'm a baby boomer. I'm Gen X.
I'm a millennial.
I am Generation Z.
We've all heard these generation names, but what do they really mean? Psychologist and Generation Me author Twenge helped us out.
Generations are really about culture. Cultures change, and generations change along with the culture, because younger generations, it's the only world that they have ever known.
Of course, people hate change, and that angst comes out as tension among the generations.
Young punks.
People who are very cynical.
Like all my old dude teachers.
These opinions can make a real difference in how we see each other, talk to each other, and work with each other, which is generational expert Scott Zimmer's specialty.
We call them clash points, which just means we're approaching the same thing a little bit differently, and it can create a little bit of tension.
The first step in breaking that tension is understanding. So here's a rundown of the current generation, starting with baby boomers. Born between 1946 and 1964, they put generational narcissism on the map.
They were the hippies of the 60s, and they became the yuppies of the 80s.
Yeah, those hippies are now workaholics, working 50, 60, even 70 hours a week.
For them, hard work really meant FaceTime, and not the Facebook app, but actually being here. The longer I'm here, the harder I'm working.
That's not to say they haven't embraced Facebook.
I love Facebook. I use it for news, but it's completely leisure for me. So they do have some free time. Next up, Generation X, you know, the ones you probably forgot about, that were born roughly between 1965 and 1980.
Xers were a generation of latchkey kids. We saw the divorce rate skyrocket. We saw more moms entering the workplace.
Xers have a bit of middle child syndrome, so yeah, we have issues.
I think of Generation X as a little bit pessimistic.
Of course we are. We didn't win trophies for everything. Hello, Millennials.
So their parents and teachers told them things like, believe in yourself and anything is possible. You can be anything you want to be. You are special. Very, very individualistic advice, and advice that wasn't given back in the 50s.
Millennials were born between 1980 and 1994. They're all about tolerance and experiences, and that is changing the workplace.
I really like to have a work-life balance in a job.
This is a generation that introduced the concept of work-life integration.
Yeah, thanks for the work emails at 10 o'clock at night. Finally, there's iGen, or Generation Z, or whatever they're called.
They're new, so they haven't really landed on a name yet.
This generation is defined as people born after 1994.
They're the first generation to not even know a world without smartphones.
I will spend like 2 or 3 hours on my phone.
So they're going blind with optimism.
They want to align themselves with a company that has a message and a purpose that is in line with their own beliefs.
Your job shouldn't feel like work. It should be something you're passionate about.
Yeah, that's called unemployed. So what's the final word on this epic generational struggle?
People sometimes think that millennials will just become boomers as they get older, and that's not the case. The traits that boomers have today that we really see stand out are the ones they developed when they were young. So it's a matter of understanding these different approaches.
Bringing the generations together is at the top of the list.